Hey guys and gals, it's me, Sude Rocket, and Happy Chinese New Year! And today's topic is going to be really fitting because we're going to be reviewing the Lego Ninjago Movie, the last movie in the Lego Movie marathon before we head into the Lego Movie 2. So I have nothing else to say, so without further ado, let's get into it! Oh, sorry, let's get into it! Woo! So basically, if you didn't know, Ninjago is actually a TV series that aired since 2011 and is still actually airing today in Cartoon Network. So yeah, it's actually a pretty popular show, which of course is based on a very popular line from the Lego company, of course. So of course, with all this popularity, and of course we have this whole Lego movie thing going on, of course it makes sense for them to make a movie out of it. But did it work? That's what we're gonna find out today. So without further ado, cue the spoiler warning. So the story is about Lloyd, who kind of has some dad issues, or should I say evil dad issues, because his dad is actually an evil lord named, well, Lord Garmadon. And Lloyd has to deal with his dad and his evil doings as the Green Ninja and fighting him, along with his friends, Kai, Cole, Zane, Jay, and then we also got Nia as well. So yes, it's actually pretty interesting. And they also fight in their mech suits, at the beginning of the film. They're not really actual ninjas. They actually start off as ninjas who fight in some big mech suits, which actually kind of makes sense because one of the most popular things about Ninjago are the big mechs and vehicles they ride in the show, which of course leads them into, selling more toys at the toy store, of course. So yes, it's actually pretty interesting that they start off as ninjas in mech suits. But anyways, when a big threat emerges, which is of course Meltra, which is actually just basically a cat who is messing with the Legos, which I found a pretty fun and hilarious idea. So yes, I like that it's also in there. So anyways, when the big Meltra is attacking the Ninjago city, this forces Lord Garmadon and Lloyd to team up, and this leads into them kind of making up for lost times, because Lord Garmadon wasn't always there. He wasn't there at all for Lloyd because he's out doing the evil doing. So yeah, he isn't there to do some dad stuff with Lloyd. So this later on when they team up, they kind of make up for lost time, which is a pretty interesting idea. In the movie, the story is kind of rough at some edges, but still it is a pretty simple story, which really follows into the trend of the other Lego films. So and the story is simpler, so both kids and adults can understand. And it's still here. It's still the same thing here. So that's what I really like. And the whole story of Lloyd connecting with his father is actually pretty fitting because yeah, it's something that we never really get to see in the show that much, so it's really interesting to see it in full force in this movie. And it's nice that we also have Lloyd as the main focus because in the Ninjago TV show we never get a real focus. It kind of switches between each season, so it's nice that Lloyd's no main focus here because he's technically the main ninja in Ninjago. Of course, this movie is based on a TV show, so of course things are changed when they transition into this movie. So of course things are going to be changed, like of course the characters. Some characters are changed to be a lot more funnier. This is apparent with Lord Garmadon, Sensei Wu, and especially Zane. I really liked it that they managed to make it a lot more funnier. When you see the movie versions of these characters, you can really see them as a parody version of the TV show, which is not a bad thing. They're really more entertaining when they're kind of making fun of how they were in the TV show, especially when Sensei was actually voiced by Jackie Chan himself. So yeah, it's really nice. I really like the characters, the changing in the characters with Lord Garmadon, Sensei Wu, and Zane. Lloyd and Nia's portrayal in this movie are kind of alright, but I do prefer the TV show version a lot more. Sure, they're almost there to their TV show counterparts, but still it's not fully there yet. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but it's still alright, I guess. Of course, this leaves Kai, Cole, and Jay, which to be honest I found very disappointing because they didn't really keep their personalities from the TV show at all in this film. They are very drastically different from the TV show counterparts, which I cannot think of any reason why they decide to do that because yeah, I kind of feel like it really works for this movie, especially Jay, because in this movie he's kind of like a scary cat in some ways. But in the TV show, he's kind of more attitude and kind of more brave. Sure, I can see him being scared most of the time. Not most of the time, sometimes in the TV show. But not like in the sense that that's his main characteristic, being a scary cat. In the TV show, he's kind of has more attitude to him. So yeah, I don't know why they kind of changed, the personalities drastically with Kai, Cole, and Jay. So yeah, so if you want to tell me what's my low point in the Ninjago movie, it's those three characters. But what about the animation style? Well, it's actually pretty different from the previous two films. Instead of just having Lego bricks throughout the entire film, some of the time you can actually see like real life objects like rocks and all that. But it's not just like regular old rocks. When you see a rock, it's actually a miniature rock, and that's kind of like the theme in the movie. Some of the stuff like bamboo trees, they're not just regular bamboo trees, they're actually small bamboo trees. It actually shows how tiny the minifigures are, and I really like the idea of that. And it really fits the Ninjago idea well, because in the TV show it's not always bricks as well. There's also like real life rocks and all that. So yeah, but here they take it to the next level and show how tiny the minifigures are. So yes, it's a really nice idea, and like the Lego movie, in the Lego Batman movie, as I mentioned, every single shot, when you just take one single shot from the movie, it's guaranteed to be looking pretty beautiful, and that's the same case here. So yeah, I really like how they did the animation style. Sure, I do still like, just having all Lego bricks, but still, this is actually pretty good as well. One thing that I always think of that they should have added in this movie is that, add some like fun references to the Ninjago brand itself. Sure, we have the characters itself, and of course, the parody versions of Sensei Wu, Lord Garmadon, and, Zanes, but kind of feel like they could have added more, some fun references to the Ninjago brand itself, like Spinjitzu itself, because the subtitle Masters of Spinjitzu has always been there in the Ninjago brand, but in this film you never really get to see Spinjitzu happening, which is kind of unfortunate, because I kind of feel like they could have done a fun idea with it, like because the thing is why they put Spinjitzu is because to to represent the spinners they have in the Lego Ninjago brand, where the minifigures sits on top of like a spinner, and of course it will spin around and you fight those spinner toys, of course. So I feel like what they could have done is that when they do Spinjitzu, when they twirl around, it's not just a tornado like in the TV show. No, they actually have like the spinner on top of that. That could be like a fun reference that they should have added in this film. And also another idea is that those henchmen with the random animal costumes, instead of having those random animal costumes, you gotta have all of them wear like snake outfits, because in one of the seasons there's actually a tribe who called the Anaconda wannabes, I think that's what they call, who they actually want to be Anaconda, who are snake warriors, so they kind of like dress like them. So I kind of feel like it would be a fun idea to parody them in this film. So instead of random animal costumes, just have them in snake costumes, which would be like a nice fun reference as well. And I also think they could have been like this. I'm a snake. The Lego Ninjago movie is a good film, but I kind of feel like it had more potential to be even greater, with the fun references, and of course improve, of course Kai, Jay, and Cole. So yeah, it kind of lacking in some departments, and really shows that they could have a lot more in this film, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's still a good film to watch, and it's still a nice, enjoyable film to watch. So yeah, I'm not that disappointed. So that's my review of the Lego Ninjago movie. So with that said, alright guys and gals, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, we're done with all three films, the Lego movie, the Lego Batman movie, and the Lego Ninjago movie. So of course we have to wait first for the Lego Movie 2 to come out, and of course I'll review that to end off this entire Lego Movie marathon. So until then guys, rock it on!